another day in the car, or another night in the car, or another night in the RV. The channel is Another Day in the Car at ADITC hyphen crew. We are the crew, is the car. There are other crew members, and just want to give everyone a chance to get in. That's what I was about to say.
You should wait.
We'll just let some people get a chance to get in here. We did say we would be on here at 9:30, and it's like 9:35 or 9:36, so we're a little bit late. And I see we've got some people coming in now.
I'd like to get some moderators in here first.
And our moderators are troll hunters. We do need troll hunters because for some reason I got lots of trolls. And Nana, hey. Anyway,
We can't begin.
I wanted to first do a shout out, thank you to Willow, who let me know that there were new documents in the Barry Morphew document file over there on the Alamosa County cases of interest, which is Barry. And she let me know that I was in the documents, and so I sort of psyched myself up a little bit before looking because I wasn't sure what it was going to be, but I know that before Barry's people have like doxed me and done all kinds of other things. So hubby here, my bae, he was a bit worried, and he's like, are you going to be okay? And then I said, hun, I died and came back. I was there and I faced death head on. I was there at the edge of that precipice. And after that, Barry is nothing, and I'm going to be fine. And it doesn't matter. People can come at me or whatever. I'm here. And all that's important is my family.
Barry was crying, by the way.
Yeah, it's a whining fest. Barry doesn't want the court proceedings to be live streamed, but I'll get into it and read you the document in a moment. But first off, I'm just going to say that I have also gone and read all the legal precedents. So actually when it gives the legal document numbers and stuff, I'm just going to say blah 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 to you. And anyway, I went and read all of them. And basically, these things that he's citing them thinking that it means that there could be a, like media blockout, like no live streaming allowed, but that's not the case. The most...
Remember, last time they couldn't even have cameras on the courthouse property.
The most restricted that this could be is that the live stream could be private, to where you have to sign in to WebEx, have a WebEx account, and have it be allowed to trace back to you, which I do not care. It is fine with me. I always use my own credentials to go in on WebEx, so it's no problem. And of course, we're not supposed to live stream it. And of course, some people have live streamed it. And, and so Barry says, about that. And of course, those that did do it,
fellow YouTuber,
they've got, little slaps on their wrist or whatever and told, don't do that again.
You know who you are. You know who's
and I'll get into that in a moment.
Barry's trial.
Okay. And let's go look at something else out. Okay, first off, I went to the website in order to see what was new on there, and there was a few new things. The last thing I had seen, of course, was the September 2nd, 2025 protection order. You can't see that, so I'll just tell you.
That's fine. That's fine. They don't need to see. They have to trust us.
Okay, trust me. And you can go there yourselves if you need to, if you don't trust me, or if you just want to see it yourself. Anyway, the last thing, September 2nd, was the protection order. And then I saw that there were several new documents, and I'm actually not going to take them in order, because the most interesting one, I'll save it for last, even though it's not last on the list. So after the protection order, all the rest of this came in, got filed on September 22nd, 2025. And thank you again to Willow. She's the one that gave me the heads up on this. She has above and beyond ancestry readings. And, I'd love for you to go check her out after you watch me, though. Please don't leave me. Anyway, first thing, motion to change attorney status designation, and it's designated as being item defense 10, and it's a PDF file. And then I read it, and basically it's stating that after posting the 10% down for that 3 million, that Barry is going to be destitute soon. That, these are private attorneys employed by him. And so this is stating that that when he completely runs out of money, because until now, right now he is having to pay their bills, but that as soon as he no longer has any money to pay the stuff, as soon as he is indigent, they want to be classified as being provided by the state, in which case they would get paid by the state. And if found guilty, then Barry'd have to work for the rest of his life probably to pay it off. But anyway, it just goes into the details on that, and things are cited. So anyway, his attorneys foresee that Barry's going to be broke. He's not going to be able to pay them. They want the state to pay them instead. And then there was the appearance bond, and that was a document that has Barry's chicken scratches and also those of the bail bondsman. And it's just like the contract stating that Barry was posting bond, and that the duration of that current bond is until November 3rd, where he's supposed to appear at the November 3rd hearing. And I wonder if they have to renew it or something after that, because it does have November 3rd being like an end date of the bond.
Really?
Yeah, so November 3rd is when he has his next court appearance, and we'll see whether they have to renew bond or what they do about that.
It means he could get locked up, huh?
Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen with that. And
see in the comments, you want to see him get locked up in November?
And it also says that Barry needs to, if he breaks any laws and gets arrested at all or anything, that he knows that his bond gets forfeit, and also that he waives extradition. If he goes any place, he's already pre-waived extradition. So no matter where he is in the world, if he gets arrested, he waives extradition and he will be brought back here. And it further says that the charges against Barry are, let me look at this document again.
Hold on.
Wait,
let's hit that like button, guys. We only have 5 likes.
Oh, that one's his waiver of extradition. Let me find his bond one. Goodness gracious.
Are you gonna read what's charged?
Appearance bond. Where is that one? Oh, one moment, please. Technical difficulties. What's over here? Motion to change appearance bond. There it is. And it says on it. Sorry it took me a moment to find it. I have so many downloaded PDF files in this phone. It's like crazy. Anyway, it says,
read the whole thing, dude. Oh my God.
Okay, State of Colorado versus Barry Lee Morphew, and this is the bond. Bond. It's filled out by the bail bondsman.
Wow.
And the bail bondsman's writing is very hard to read. Anyway, bail bonding agent filled it out, and the bond was posted for the defendant, Barry Lee Morphew, and the party as principal, and then printed it as the surety. So it's the bail bondsman and his name is
we'll leave the name out for now.
redacted. And then it says that they're posting the sum of $3 million, and there is a default upon the primary condition of this bond. The bail agent charged a premium in the amount of to be determined. So we don't know yet what Barry's fee is going to be, because right now the bail bondsman is saying, okay, I'm posting your bond, and the amount that I'm going to charge you for doing this for you is to be determined.
He jumped at it too.
And then it says the primary condition of this bond is that the party shall personally appear in the Alamosa County Court, and then it's got the address, on November 3rd, 2025 at 1:30 p.m. and at each place and upon each date to which this proceeding is transferred or continued. So yeah, they can transfer or continue this to go through his whole trial and keep him on bond the whole time, but the bail bondsman is not like forced to keep that. Right now the contract is through November 3rd. At that point, the bondsman has the right to change his mind and revoke it.
Barry.
Anyway, but I'm guessing he probably won't, but that he'll be negotiating that fee. And until entry of an order for deferred prosecution or deferred judgment, plea of guilty, and this is, I agree to a continuance. He is continuing it. I agree to a continuance of this bond through sentencing to answer charges of. Okay, so he is going to be covering the bond all the way up until Barry is convicted, and it says the charges of. Although,
wait for it.
We're assuming he's convicted or going to be convicted, okay? But, because it's just, until the end of the trial on the charges of murder, first degree, after deliberation with intent.
Dude.
And then, the party, this is the additional conditions for Barry. Party shall not commit a felony while at liberty on bail. Party shall immediately notify the court of any change of mailing address or residence. And right now, Barry's claiming that his residence is that address in in Indiana, which I know is his mother's address, so I won't say the address name, because in another one of the documents that I'm going to read in a few minutes, it states that they don't like that address being put out there because it's putting his mother in danger. Then it says, if you have been arrested for a felony offense, you shall sign a written waiver of extradition indicating you waive all formal proceedings in the event you are arrested in another state and you agree to be returned to Colorado. And then I did see the document where Barry signed it, filled it all up and signed it, saying that if he is arrested again, no matter where he is, he'll agree to come back to Colorado. And this is, party acknowledges the existence of a mandatory protection order and shall comply with any required firearm relinquent provisions. And yeah, we know that Barry was told he could not have any guns.
Welcome to chat, everyone.
And it says defendant's name, Barry Lee Morphew, and then the case number. And party may not leave the state. No weapons, no alcohol, no illegal drugs.
Does that mean cannabis is legal because it's a legal drug in the state of Colorado?
And it's right here. No illegal drugs. This condition does not apply to the use of medical marijuana for patients who possess a valid registry ID card. So if he's registered, he can have pot. Otherwise, he can't have pot. And let's see, no illegal drugs.
G-Fresh.
And he has to have GPS monitoring. And then it says who his pretrial supervision contact is, and I'm not going to give that up. And then it says other is checked, and it says not to leave his home except medical emergency, doctor appointments, legal, or work. GPS monthly report to the court, surrender passport, use only the name Barry Morphew, only drive vehicles registered in that name.
Oh my.
And if this party fails to comply with any of the conditions of this bond, the court may revoke the party's release on bail, increase the amount of bail, or modify bond conditions. This bond will be forfeited if the party does not appear in court as required by the primary bond conditions.
Did not have car problems that day.
And it's signed by Barry and by the bonding agent. And then Barry started to fill it out, his name in the wrong place, but then, so it says bar on one spot, but then he figured out where it's supposed to be and he wrote his name in there and signed it.
Well, certainly he's had plenty of time to practice reading and writing.
So that's that document.
If you want the names off this, they're publicly available.
Mm-hmm. Ah, the light fell on my head.
That's our lighting for the night.
That was unhappy.
Just keep streaming. We'll just put the light back up. How about that?
And
maybe it'll stay up this time.
where's the hi guys. I just had a light fall on my head. And I'm only a little bit more dingy than I usually am. Anyway, that was the appearance bond, and then there was the waiver of extradition that I told you about that Barry filled out. And now the doozy document. It is called Unopposed Motion to Cease Unmonitored Live Stream of Court Proceedings, Defense 9.
Hit that like button, people.
And it's a fat PDF file. Ha! PDF file.
We were talking about them earlier in our other story.
Yes, where I was calling that singer guy a PDF file.
This is the file here that has us in there, and it has other YouTubers. And I know you guys watch the other YouTubers. I know you do.
So, and I definitely watch one of them. So anyway, unopposed motion to cease which means, nobody fought them on it. So this is, what they're having to say. And I'm guessing what's going to come of it is that we're going to have to use our real credentials to log in to watch it. Or they'll do a remote thing like they did for the other preliminary where we had to go to the fairgrounds to watch it. Anyway, no biggie. We're still going to be allowed to watch it. We're still going to watch it, and we're still going to tell you about it. Fired through counsel David Beller and, of Wrecked Cornfield.
What?
Yeah, that's
yes,
the name of his.
I remember.
That's the name of his. The thing. It's actually. Why are we're live?
I don't know.
I wonder if it's split into 2 lives now. We'll have to find out later. Anyhow, we're reading the document that was most interesting. The unopposed motion to cease unmonitored live stream of court proceedings. It's a complaint by Barry and his team. And it says, that David Beller guy and Jane Fisher Bjornsen, I just call her Jane Fisher, moved to cease live streaming court proceedings and instead adopt an alternative means of remote public viewing via a verified account on WebEx, so that visitors and potential abusers are identified and IP addresses are trackable, as opposed to the unmonitored live stream. This motion is made pursuant to, blah, 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 sections, blah, 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 and the Constitution of Amendments 6 and 14 of the United States Constitution. The people do not oppose the relief requested, but due to their private schedules have not seen the final version of the contents of this motion. So the people didn't oppose what they want done, but the people have not seen what is written in this complaint, which includes me, little old me. Anyway.
I'm in there too now.
Yeah, you too, because and our son, because he's the crew. He's crew too. So anyway, as grounds, Mr. Morphew states section blah blah provides that all criminal court proceedings conducted in open court shall be available for remote public viewing and listening in real time through an online platform, which may include a participatory web conferencing platform, which means WebEx, which, yeah, I use WebEx all the time, no problem. It's not going to be any big deal for anybody. Anyway, there are exceptions, however. Remote public viewing is not required if, based on the particular facts and circumstances of the case, this court finds A, there is a reasonable likelihood remote observation of the live proceedings risks compromising the safety of any person, the defendant's right to a fair trial, including violations of sequestration orders. Sequestration orders, how the jury isn't supposed to see any media on it. Which,
the jury is instructed not to view anything.
Yeah, the jury's instructed not to view. They're restricted from watching anything, the news or anything like that. So I don't think any YouTubers are going to be a problem with that. Anyway, or the victim's rights pursuant to section blah. And B, there is no less restrictive alternative that preserves the public interest in remote observation while mitigating the identified risk. Blah, blah, blah. And of course, they're going to go into the fact that these victims that they're talking about are not Suzanne. They don't give a crap about Suzanne or Suzanne's family. They are talking specifically of Barry's mom, and Barry's daughters.
Let's start off talking about good old Matt Black. He'll be our first one that we're going to talk about.
I haven't gotten to it, but yeah. One of the people
chatter about him.
One of the people that is mentioned in here is Matt Black, and I haven't watched his material or anything, but I welcome anybody letting me know what he posts, because I know that he does like post and repost information. I just have not gone over to his channel or anything out of being petty, I guess, because way back when excrement, X used to be Twitter, Matt Black blocked me, and I don't know why, but he blocked me. So out of my pettiness, I said to myself, I'm not going to watch this guy's videos or anything. Then I'm just going to not watch his channel.
He's a reposter.
But, so anyway, I am interested in whether he posts anything good, and then I'll go and verify once I know what kind of information he's come across, and I'll, do my own research to make sure that what he is posting is correct. But, I'm not going to look him up myself. Anyhow.
Petty.
Yeah, I'm petty.
Just like Petty University.
Yeah.
Really
yeah, I like that chick. She's swoop.
Yep.
She's Petty University. Yeah, that's me. Anyway, risk compromising the safety of any person is one of the things they're looking into. It includes risks to physical and emotional safety, intimidation, and harassment. Here, live streaming has invited countless unsavory characters into the lives of all parties, witnesses, victims, counsel, and members of the judiciary, and provided them with unfettered access to harass and abuse. Well, I've never gone after any of these people in a one-on-one. I have given my opinions, which is my First Amendment right, and I just want to tell everyone else this too. Do not go directly to these people and harass them, but go ahead and voice your opinions about them.
You can voice it right here.
You can voice it right here. It is 100% within your rights to have opinions and voice them.
Just like what's going on in the other media.
Yeah, and then live streaming is available for most criminal cases in Colorado by going to the website. Then it's got the website. The home screen landing page prominently states in 2 places, in 2 fonts, warning, do not record or reproduce the court proceedings. Any recording of these proceedings, including any audio recording, visual recording, screen capture, or photographed without the express prior written authorization of the court is prohibited and may subject you to contempt proceedings, including a fine, jail, or both. For more information, please see Chief Justice Directive, and then it's got that listed. And it says, despite statutory and CJD prohibitions and the warning stated above, the status conference hearing held on September 2nd, 2025, was live streamed by at least 2 YouTube user accounts, reaching viewers in this judicial district in Colorado, across the country, and throughout the world. Multiple ads and commercials interrupted the broadcast. I don't know what the hell that has to do with it, but anyway, multiple ads and commercials interrupted the broadcast. And while Tombstones, which is one of the 2 channels they're complaining about, only has 100 subscribers.
You're not going to give the other guy up, are you?
Yeah, I am, but I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not going to go into all the petty stuff they have to say about him. Just
right.
The fact that they name him. JLR Investigates has 432,000.
Good man.
And I watch JLR. He's got good stuff. He's got breaking news.
Good creator.
He's a good creator. I watch him all the time. Maybe he wasn't supposed to live stream, and he live streamed, but, you know, I'm sure he's had his hands slapped or whatever. And as of September 16th, 2025, the JLR broadcast and live streaming of the September 2nd, 2025 hearing has over 17,000 views and counting on YouTube. And the filming and simultaneous broadcast include everything that could be seen on the live stream, including a view of the victims, which, you know, I described to you. There was women sitting behind Barry, and 2 of the women were his daughters, and everyone else in the courtroom. The names of those admitted into this court's WebEx are also displayed. Yeah, and I was one of the names displayed, as were Melinda Mormon Balzer, who is Suzanne's sister, and Andrew Mormon, who is one of her brothers. And these people are very vocal about wanting justice for Suzanne, so I'm sure they don't mind that people knew that they were attending this court hearing for Barry. They want justice for Suzanne, and they feel in their hearts that Barry has a lot to answer for.
They're pretty mad at old JLR. Barry's like, man.
And then notably, both broadcasts, JLR and Tombstones, include the prominent display of the live stream notice that proceedings may not be recorded or transmitted. But then in JLR's case, what they give us is this big picture of him. I don't know if you can see that.
Like further back.
Okay.
Like
a picture of him and a message that actually says that the court live stream is offline. And then it says the contemporaneous commentary emblazoned across the courtroom images throughout the JLR broadcast is venomous and threatening towards not only Mr. Morphew, but also his daughters, who are victims in this case. Some examples. And then they're going to do a couple of, they're going to quote JLR of things that he said in his broadcast or did in print. And
everyone else in chat.
And so here's what JLR said. And by the way, once again, I am a fan. So is my babe.
He is exercising his freedom of speech, everybody.
Yeah, he is well within his rights to say these things. He says, looks like we'll be going on a bear hunt, everyone.
Bear.
And then he has a eyeballs looking emoji. And he says, he's a monster. And then it says, they redacted it and put in victim daughters are just showing disgraceful behavior now. What the heck is wrong with these judges? Barry is an animal and this judge is a fool. Judge would need to hide herself. Something incestuous about Barry and the daughter's relationship, sick, and a frowny face. And it is inconceivable that these girls cannot support their mother, the woman that gave birth to them, over a man that took her life. Absolutely crazy. God bless Suzanne, and may you get the justice that she deserves. His children are delusional. Their poor mom, how horrified she must be. Shame on the girls. They will see. And 3 crying face emojis. And then he quotes, his attorney said since he lost his wife, not since his wife went missing with another man like they said, and he should have no bond. His attorney should be arrested for accessory after the crime and fired. And then he said, looks like his daughters walked in. I can tell by the black hair and the blonde hair and the clothes they wear. Which, that's a normal observation. That is how we recognize them. They have distinctive hair and distinctive ways of dress. After the court hearing concluded, JLR commented for some 15 minutes about the court's ruling, Mr. Morphew, and the deficiencies of the prosecution and the defense, and he followed up by posting the same on X, or as I call it, excrement, formerly Twitter. I am no longer on that platform. Anyway, JLR pledged to continue live broadcasting all the way through the trial. And then it gives a timestamp of where in his broadcast he said this. And I'm pledging to let you know everything that goes. Of course, I'm not going to live stream it because we're not allowed to, but I'm going to watch that trial, and I am going to let you know everything that happens in there.
Talking about Bear.
Anyway, JLR investigates, now they dox him. JLR investigates as Jonathan Lee Riches, except for I guess we all knew that. He does identify himself. And then a quick search on Wikipedia reveals the following summary, and then it goes through his Wikipedia, and then they do a deep dive into him, and they're just like throwing dirt on him for the longest time. They've got many paragraphs of it. And then and then it goes on to say about how he was against Barry before, and it mentions that he resides outside of Tampa, Florida. So don't know why it's important at all to go ahead and say his real name and where he lives. Anyhow, then it goes that now nearly a year later, where'd it go? Mr. Riches continues contempt of court and rile up the public, treating the parties to the Morphew litigation as mere entertainment for him and his followers. We all have a right to be entertained by what's going on, and we all have a right to know what's going on, and we all have a right to have our opinions and our feelings about this case. And I do know that JLR is not just being an opportunist, jumping on the bandwagon late in the game or anything like that. He's been there ever since it became public knowledge about what happened to Suzanne. And it is information, not just entertainment. And yeah, so nothing wrong with JLR. And I don't know why they attacked him so
Thank you,
deeply.
Karen. He's disclosed everything about himself already.
Yeah.
He's even written a book. I didn't know that.
I didn't know he wrote a book, but, I knew that he's upfront about everything. And
he's all right.
And we watch him. We watch him all the time. That's one of the things we do in the morning when we're having our coffee. He's, our wake-up routine. Some people, like, read a newspaper or whatever. We grab our coffee and we watch him, and we watch some other creators, and then we start looking at the news on Google and whatnot too after we're more awake. But when you're first up and you're drinking your coffee, it's just really nice to watch these other creators. Anyhow, this consumption of true crime entertainment is not limited to Mr. Riches. Mr. Morphew was a topic of panels in Denver at CrimeCon 2025, which is true. The public filing of a victim impact statement resulted in worldwide headlines and countless social media postings.
Should we read that tonight at the end of the show?
Maybe, if people would like us to.
Let us know in the comments if you want to hear that victim impact statement.
Let's give them a weird number to hit. Hit the number 3 if you want me to read the victim impact statement at the end of this stream.
Very emotional. Uh-oh.
And let's see. Where to go? The public filing of the victim impact statement resulted in worldwide headlines and countless social media postings. X, formerly Twitter, and YouTube users filmed themselves calling the Alamosa Sheriff's Department inquiring of Mr. Morphew's bond status. See Another Day in the Car Crew, YouTube, September 16th, 2025, and then a link to our video. And then it says, while the court cannot limit the public's appetite in the case by limiting some public exposure, the court may avoid satiating it.
Show the picture. Hey, here we are.
And it quotes my Jack saying, hit it. Let's call and see if that Barry Morphew got. And, there I am on the phone. I don't know. Yeah, well, there. It's me and Jack on the phone. We called Alamosa County. We were checking on the status of Barry, whether he was still in jail or not.
We've done that
numerous times. That's not the only one. They only quoted one of them though, and yeah,
I'm very mad.
And our YouTube tag, our at thing, at 80 at ADITC hyphen crew, because yeah, that is a hyphen, right? The dash thingy. Anyway, that's our tag. We're Another Day in the Car crew.
Hi, Uncle Jed. A long time since I've spoke to you.
So yeah, that's just a little complaint about us. And then after live streaming in violation of that, Mr. Riches films himself stating, "I call them," as Morphew's daughters, "the trio of evil," the way his daughters are smirking with him. But that's true. He's just making a truthful observation. The daughters and Barry all have the same, sick, smirky smile. They're benefiting financially from this, which is true. And then is quoting his broadcast. And then it says, Mr. Riches then verbally engages with someone live blogging, claiming to be a resident of Alamosa County, stating, "You're welcome, Starla. Thank you. Be safe out there in Alamosa County. Seems like they might be defending criminals out there and giving criminals an opportunity to hit the street." And then it says the timestamp and everything. And then he says, "And like Denise said in the comments, I'll be half trying to hunt him down, manhunt Barry Morphew," and the broadcast and the time. And yeah, we're all doing a bear hunt. It doesn't literally mean we're hunting Barry, but we want to keep our eye on him and take photos from a distance.
Don't get too close to Bear
area. I wouldn't get too close to the guy.
No, he's getting kind of riled up.
And, be careful about that. But, if somebody's in a public place, there is no expectation of privacy.
Right, Cart, and everybody else in chat, hello.
Violation of court orders and rules with respect to the live streaming is not restricted to this particular court hearing. The case has attracted some vitriol, threats, and harassment against Mr. Morphew, his daughters, his defense team, and the courts. Immediately after the court proceeding, the name, image, and home address of Barry Morphew's elderly mother was posted conspicuously online by a person identifying himself as Matt Black Inc. And
Matt.
And then it says Matt Black Inc. has long been posting about this case, and there's every indication that they will continue to do so.
Matt Black lives over in the UK.
Yeah, and at least they didn't totally dox him and all that. But he has a right to post what he posts, and what he posts. He doesn't go getting stuff that isn't public access. So,
can we get some support for Matt Black on this channel? I don't know.
All I know is he blocked me back when
human animals
when
leading the way
excrement
right here.
when excrement was Twitter. He blocked me, and so I'm petty and I don't watch his channel. But you know, if anybody sees anything interesting on there, if he comes across any news, let me know what it is, and then I will fact check it.
Who is Matt? He's a reposter.
Anyway, during previous proceedings, and here's, I don't know if, okay, I guess maybe this is his excrement page.
There he is.
I can't do it.
Little
I don't know
tune
if
in
it
there.
Shows.
Patience. There you go.
There it is. That's his excrement page. I'm not on excrement.
He has a Suzanne page.
Anyway, during previous proceedings, there were threats not only against Mr. Morphew, but also his legal team requiring security measures.
Animal.
The personal information of attorneys was posted online. The only personal information about attorneys that was posted online was stuff that was posted publicly by those attorneys. Anyway, personal information of attorneys posted online. A dead fox was found on the porch of one of the attorneys' home, and anonymous letters were sent to the home addresses of the attorneys. Negative online reviews of counsel are constant. In addition, counsel for Mr. Morphew has had to take personal security measures for our homes and offices. Welcome to the club. Anybody who has any contact or any reporting on Barry Morphew ends up very much needing to up their security,
yeah,
and personal security measures. Welcome to the club. It's not just you guys. Anyway, and the dead fox on the porch,
yes,
I don't know anything about it, but was it a poached fox, or was it a fox that expired due to natural causes? Who knows? And I think that was an attorney that is no longer on that case. I don't know. But, if they lived out in the country or something, who would hurt a fox?
I do that.
I know, I'm getting distracted. A previous district court judge on this case, Judge Ramsey Lama, was doxxed with his home address posted online. He had it posted online on his... He did it himself, you guys. Nothing that was ever posted about Judge Ramsey Lama was not nothing that was posted about him was stuff that wasn't publicly available. And Ramsey Lama has some issues himself, and he stepped down as a judge now, and he is just an attorney. I'm not even going to waste my breath on Ramsey Lama, but, those of you who have been around know why I get, my hackles up over this whole thing. And, I beat cancer. I went through chemo and everything. I died and came back out on the other side. Nothing that Barry's crew can dish out is going to faze me. Especially with Babe at my side. He's going to keep me safe.
Staring down death's doorway.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
It just made me stronger.
We're glad you're back.
And you made me stronger. Just having you by my side really makes everything a lot better. Anyway, a previous district court judge on the case, Judge when I was doxxed, his home address posted online. And then on June 20th, 2025, the court issued a lengthy and detailed order regarding expanded media coverage. In it, the court rules at paragraph 12, there shall be no zoom or close-ups made of any of the proceedings. Despite this, in both subsequent hearings, the media ignored this court's order and zoomed in on Mr. Morphew. Oh, poor Barry. Oh, poor Barry. Oh, they got examples. Oh, no wonder he didn't want people to zoom in. Here's Court TV zoomed in on Barry, and Barry's upset.
There he is.
And I can see why Barry is upset.
Let it zoom.
Wait,
It'll autofocus.
It's got to autofocus soon here. Let you guys see.
Come on. There's
there he
the
is.
bear.
Check out his face, you guys. Look at that
Smiling.
face. Oh my God.
Prison clothes.
Yeah. Anyway, Court TV posted that. Barry does not like that. Screenshot and share and spread it around. Go to Court TV and get it. Whatever. You see this image online. You see this screenshot online. Spread it everywhere. Barry doesn't like it. He doesn't want people to see this image of him. This is hilarious. Wow, poor Barry.
Barry's in a lot of trouble.
Oh my God.
That's all I have to say about that guy.
And another one, it says trial tracker. This is another,
well, we might as well show that one as well.
Yeah, I'm going to pull it up. And Barry's very upset about this close-up of his lovely haircut, Mr. Eraserhead himself.
It's a high and tight
Eraserhead. I don't know. Makes him look like
it's
a gooner.
Military cut, isn't it? Someone let us know.
I know he never was in the military, but he looks like a gooner.
Barry wasn't in the military, was he?
I said he was never in the military. But maybe he doesn't like his haircut, and people zoomed in on it. So here's another one that if you see this one online, or if you have the ability to screenshot this, and zoom in and blow it up, and maybe share it around. Barry doesn't like it. There has to be this.
Barry had to expect us to come on here and talk about him.
He
had to expect this. He had to know about you and your loud, boisterous person.
He knows that
he knew as soon as we talk about her.
Anyway, while the abuse of the EMC order is grounds for a different motion, it is raised here to express the need to limit what the public is consuming. This court has the power and obligation to order complete cessation of remote live streaming because there is a reasonable likelihood remote observation of live proceedings risks compromising the safety of any persons.
Thank you, Reichert.
The defendant's right to a fair trial, including violations of sequestration orders and the victim's rights pursuant to section blah, 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 blah. The victims being his daughters and his mom and not Suzanne. And they're thinking that justice for Suzanne would be to not allow anyone to see any of this. Well, they can do it via WebEx, where those of us who are observing have to have our real credentials and our real IP address entered in there so they know who we are, so they can, do whatever to anybody that violates it.
I'm pretty sure Barry used to come on this channel during the live.
I know he did.
A while back, a year or two ago.
Yeah, he was a real bitch. Anyway, the abuse of live streaming represents a blatant violation of this court's orders against broadcasting the live stream proceedings, as well as this court's specific prohibition on photographing and publishing images of the victim.
Yes, bullcut.
It cannot be doubted that in the setting... Oh, yeah, he looks like one of the Three Stooges, doesn't he? Anyway,
hit that like button while we're distracted.
It cannot be doubted that in the setting of the extraordinary hysteria and vitriol surrounding this case, all individually and cumulatively create a reasonable likelihood of risks to physical and emotional safety, intimidation, and harassment. Mary got his feelings hurt. Oh.
She's laughing at you, Barry Morphew. God.
Inflaming tens of thousands of viewers to hunt Mr. Morphew and calling his daughters part of a trio of evil and declaring the court would need to hide herself is alarming, illegal, and by any definition is harassment, intimidation, traumatic to emotional safety, and a risk to physical safety of Mr. Morphew, his daughters, counsel, and this court. Oh my God.
Yes.
Barry is so upset, and it seems that he doesn't think people should have the right to voice their own opinions. What's next? Is he going to say that, people that aren't live streamers or anything, is he going to say that other people in the jail, if they see him and laugh at his hair or something, that, they need to be stopped and silenced too? Because it hurts his feelings.
Did he come here from Arizona with that haircut?
I'm not sure if he came here with that or if he got that in jail.
Wow. How do you get a haircut in jail? Let us know in the comments. How do you get your hair cut in jail?
Anyway, the public trial guarantee is a right created for the benefit of the defendant. And then it quotes where it comes from and says the Sixth Amendment right to public trial is best understood as a trial that is open to the public, meaning that the public has a reasonable opportunity to be physically present to observe the proceedings. And then it quotes some stuff, and then it says this is not a right that requires live streaming of court proceedings. Well, I have a feeling that it could be WebEx, it could be broadcast to satellite regions or whatever.
Did any
but
of the TV stations
needs
get
to be
permission to have their cameras in there?
Yeah, they did.
Okay.
So that's the other possibility that we could do is watch it that way. I mean, I'm sure there are plenty of ways. People are not going to be denied the right to watch this and then talk about it. We're not going to live stream it. We're not going to do that. We're not going to break any of the rules, but we will watch his trial and we will discuss with you guys what all happens.
Real-time reports on
and
it.
we could even do real-time reports on it without recording it. Just giving play-by-plays of what is happening. And then it goes on to be sure, however, the purpose of the right to a public trial extends beyond the accused. Public access to criminal trials permits the public to participate in and serve as a check upon the judicial process, an essential component. Where'd I go? I got last in our structure of self-government. And then it's got more case precedents. And to the extent the right to attend criminal trials is implicit in the guarantees in the First Amendment, that right is satisfied by permitting the public to attend the trial in person. And then it's got some other stuff. And the First Amendment rights of the public and representatives of the press are not absolute. As the Supreme Court has explained, there may be reasonable restrictions on general access. And, I'm sure there are ways that we are going to be able to see this trial. Thus, while the press and public have a constitutional right to observe court proceedings, those constitutional rights do not compel the court to offer remote live streaming of any proceeding. So long as the courthouse remains open and members of the public who wish to observe the proceedings may do so in person, the court's obligation to hold public proceedings is satisfied. Okay, how are they going to get a courtroom big enough for everybody that wants to be in there? The only less restrictive alternative that counsel can suggest is for the court to terminate the live stream while allowing persons with verified, requiring an email address to register, WebEx account users platform to remotely observe proceedings. Well, that's the way I wanted to do it anyway. In that way, observers will have to identify themselves with a registered account, and their IP identifier may be tracked by the court's IT department if necessary. While counsel is skeptical that this alternative will ensure there is no audio or visual recording, including photography or screenshots, it is a less restrictive measure short of terminating all viewing and listening in real time in any remote form. Undersigned counsel conferred with the people and shared an earlier draft version of this motion. They have no objection to the relief requested and respectfully submitted and signed Rex Cornfield, David Beller, and the certification of service and all that. So all that attack on JLR and mention of me and all of that just because they're wanting to require us to use WebEx to watch the trial, when I'm sure none of us have any objection whatsoever to using WebEx to register and watch the trial.
If you're going to drive here from Wisconsin, the trial scheduled for the summer should be pretty nice. Should be able to find a nice camping spot as well. It's
yeah.
Not too expensive. So yeah, welcome to Colorado.
Yeah, we're probably gonna go camp out over there.
We could all just join together and
see if we can go in. If we
have
can't
a little
go
campfire and bam.
Yeah, gather together, watch it together, whatever, and also talk to the channel while not sharing the actual live stream. Yeah, we can all have a gathering and it's cool. And so, well, that is that on that document. And
we were going to read
Barry's feelings are hurt.
Victim impact statement. Yes, they did. They hit that number 3.
Okay.
Is it on the? Can you just pull it up PDF where you were on the phone?
If I go online, I can.
Right here.
Okay. Yeah. Turn my phone back online. I'm on airplane because I didn't want phone calls coming in and going. We had it interrupting a different live stream. So just go here.
You do.
I do.
You do. Your phone. You do.
Okay. Take the airplane off. And then go back to... Yeah, hide the personal stuff. And pick this up. Here we go. I'm on the court page now. Let's see. Victim impact statement.
The native rapper. What is this native rapper? We like Snotty Nose. Reichart.
Yeah. And Black Braid. He is an excellent.
But he's not a rapper though.
No, he's not a rapper. He's metal.
Thank you for hiding people that are being bad, Edie. Oh, that's what is that? Is that Kid Rock or something?
Let's see. There's a... Oh, that kind of Indian. I thought you meant Native American Indian. Every time I hear Indian, that's what I think. Okema, O-K-E-M-A, music artist, motivational speaker, entrepreneur, and is a Punjab performer. Different kind of Indian.
He's one of those...
Other kind of Indian.
One of those other kind.
And here we go. The victim impact statement of David Mormon, Suzanne's oldest
Okay, get
brother.
ready. This is an emotional one for those of you that haven't heard it before. This is sad.
It's terrible. And it was addressed to Ann Kelly, who's the 12th Judicial District Attorney, and it was written August 21st, 2025 in preparation for that bond hearing where Barry was asking for a reduced bond, and he got the bond conditions where he could get a bail bondsman, and he did end up getting out, and that obviously was not the wishes of Suzanne's family.
Okay, serious time now.
Subject: Victim Impact Statement, Barry Morphew, 25 CR 000128. Dear Ms. Kelly, as the oldest sibling of Suzanne Mormon Morphew, I have prepared the following statement for you and the court. I have no financial requests from the district or the citizens of Saguache County currently. Please contact me with any questions you may have, and thank you for your continued services in the matters involving my sister's case. This is to whom it may concern. I have laid awake many nights pondering the last few minutes of my sister Suzanne's life. Once struck by the bam-laden dart, it is hard to imagine the terror she felt as she tried to escape. With every pounding heartbeat, the chemical quickened its pace into her system, just like it had on so many deer her now psychopathic partner had shot. The screams, the tears, the pain were the outward expressions as her physical body began to separate from her spirit and soul, one trying to hang on to the earthly realm, while the other, in quiet resignation, came to grips with the tipping point that had been reached. As the chemical did its work, the physical struggle would soon end, and her heart stopped. The separation was now complete, allowing her spirit to rise above the morbid stage. Her conscious human presence on earth was over. As she contemplated the marriage to this monster, her thoughts migrated to a question she repeated innumerable times in her life. What was I thinking? As she gazed at the limp corpse, her former body, and the last testament to her earthly presence, she now understood her death was a symbolic culmination of her marriage, one where she was nothing but a live trophy for public display by a cunning predator, much like the animal trophies he had displayed on the walls. Her legacy will hopefully help others, men and women, avoid the fate she has suffered with her marriage to a heartless narcissist. As she watched her killer frantically work to cover a crime he would never escape, she grasped the freedom from captivity she had not felt but for a few fleeting moments over the last 25 years. This new status as a roaming spirit allowed her powers far beyond anything she imagined on Earth. Powers that see the future with the ability to guide actions, and it would be with these powers she would enjoy the last word, regardless of how long it took or where her remains would come to rest. She resolved to keep calling from the wilderness and cleverly guide her killer to the corner. Her plan was to turn his egotistical narcissism and gaslighting into his personal soul-consuming prison for both this life and his next. Suzanne's spirit has guided us all down a torturous path to this point. The stage setting was changed and changed again, which has tested both hope and patience. An arrest, the hope of a trial, a release without prejudice, the images of a gloating killer, and the heartbreaking manipulation of her daughters she loves so much. She has disgustingly watched the scheming jackal from her perch, all with the satisfaction of knowing she would have the last word. Through the seasons of over 3 years, 1,231 days, a core group of tireless investigators moved along a trail that would start in Chaffee and end just off Highway 17 in Saguache County. A fateful rendezvous on the morning of September 22nd, 2023, with a dedicated public servant who rose that day having no idea of the part they would play in my sister's saga. The scattered remains on a premeditated stage provided a reward for the thousands of hours of work done on her case. The amazing forensic work would be the final push to a finish line where a seated grand jury could render a first-degree murder indictment. We have all finally arrived at the point where Suzanne can receive justice. For all those who knew and loved her, this is a very bittersweet moment, as we would love to see her smile, hear her laugh, and enjoy her wonderfully accepting personality. But we now must march forward to finish the journey which should never have begun. All involved, whether family, friends, investigators, followers, or citizens of Chaffee and Saguache County, have paid a staggering emotional price in this saga. The accused are offered their day in court, but on my sister's behalf, I am requesting the following. 1. The interim release of Barry Morphew should under no circumstances be granted. I am sure the grand jurors who indicted him would agree. He is a flight risk and a serial psychopathic controller of all in the realm of his influence. He needs to remain imprisoned through the entire legal proceedings till a verdict is read. And two, while death by hanging is deserved for the nature and the premeditated planning of this crime, I am requesting a life sentence with no chance of parole. In the If the truth were acknowledged, Barry Morphew is a soulless, sadistic, amoral predator that has hunted or used those around him his entire life. There is no redemption here. Anyone believing such are just foolish lambs awaiting his or her potential slaughter. He is born killer, nurtured by those who sanctioned my sister's death. Thank you for your service, and I look forward to the trial. Signed, David S. Moorman, brother of Suzanne Moorman Morphew. And I actually read this statement to myself quite often if I feel discouraged about where this, what's happening, and like Barry getting bail and stuff like that. I read this and remind myself we are in this for Suzanne. We will keep seeking justice for Suzanne. We will keep an eye on Barry. And if he doesn't like having pictures of him taken, posted, laughed at, I think that that's what we all should do. And if he doesn't like us calling it bear hunting, I think we should call it bear hunting. No one is planning to take this man out or anything like that. No one's going to harm him. We all want him to stand trial for what he has done and have everything come to light in a public venue so that everyone can see exactly what kind of monster he is, and he can spend the rest of his life knowing that the world knows what a blight on society he is. Any thoughts, babe?
Has he ever denied doing it?
I don't believe he's ever denied doing it. I think that he has avoided saying anything about whether or not he did it, and instead suggested all kinds of different people that could have done it or how it could have been done and stuff like that. And then she ends up with Bam inside her bones. It was metabolizing. She had been under the influence of Bam for some period of time. He tortured her to death. Anyway,
moment of silence.
Yeah, moment of silence for Suzanne, and share your thoughts in the comments.
And fight for your free speech. Free speech. Without free speech, freedom of speech, you would have never heard that. So stand up for freedom of speech.
And stand up for Suzanne. And all the Suzannes out there.
Jimmy Kimmel lost his freedom of speech.
He got it back.
And he got it back. You know why? Because the people that took his freedom of speech paid for it out of their pocket with loss of revenue. Hit that like button, guys. Gonna need some thumbs up in here. Please. And here. You know who else was worried how he looks? D4VD, right?
I think so, but we did a live stream earlier, and I think that we'll probably make a pre-recorded video to release also about D4VD and how he came to have the 13-year-old girl that he groomed, abducted, and lived with and called his wifey, how she ended up deceased, wrapped in plastic in the trunk of his Tesla, setting out for months in the trunk of his Tesla, and how his latest album called Withered, the songs on that album are just it seems to me to be a total confession. And anyway, in the pre-recorded video, we will of course put the facts out there and also share photos of the documents and such that we have discovered and screenshots from his music videos, which seem to be a confession to taking the life of this little girl. An adult man taking the life of a little girl, abducting her, keeping her in his home for over a year.
Another global story brought to you by YouTubers. I mean, I see everybody's talking about David around the world. Another example of freedom of speech.
And another example of the rich getting away with things because there had to have been people around him that knew that he was exploiting this little girl, this little junior high girl. He had no business of being around, and they knew that she was in his home. They knew that he had her, and he wasn't letting her communicate with anyone else. She had no communication with her friends or her family after August of 2024. And this is just horrible. And the wealthy shouldn't just get away with using the children or using the poor or using, I mean, they can't just treat people like that.
Thanks for stopping in, Human Animal. We'll check you out in one of your lives later on. Stop in and say hi.
Yeah.
We're about out of here as well.
Yeah. This is, they believe that the court is just getting.
We are talking about
a
musician out of LA
named David, spells his name D4VD, and he is a 20-year-old adult male who, as he went on the first leg of his world tour, his Tesla registered to him sat on a street outside his home,
Hollywood Hills,
in the Hollywood Hills, and people called it in because, well, for one, the vehicle was very suspicious and stood out because it had Texas plates. It was registered to David. It had a large dent, and it had an odor emanating from it and a whole bunch of flies around it. So they had the vehicle towed, and then it was in the tow yard a few days when the tow yard people were convinced that they smelled death on the vehicle, and they called law enforcement. Law enforcement went and looked, and they found this little girl wrapped in plastic in the trunk of the Tesla. And just doing a backtrack of things, the neighbors, the people in the neighborhood, all say that the Tesla used to be parked in the driveway of David's house, but beginning in May, it was always parked in the public streets near the house in the neighborhood, never sitting in the same place more than 72 hours, avoiding being towed.
Oh, yes. Yes, he did do a pretty good video on that one. Yeah. Dr. Todd. Yeah, that was a pretty good video he done.
Yeah, I went and looked at it.
Yeah. See, we all watched the same guys.
Yeah.
He said he didn't care for his music, and his name kind of annoyed him. He's like, I'm going to call him D4PD.
Yeah. Anyhow, I think that's about it for me. It was very emotional, and I think I need to just curl up and listen to the rain. It's raining here, and I think we'll just go lay down and listen to the rain together. What do you think, babe?
I think if you're quiet, you can hear the rain. Because we're sitting in the car again. It's quiet in here. The acoustics are good.
Quieter than in the trailer where the boy and his video games and our critters are. We came out to the car this time without the critters.
Yeah. You guys want to talk about anything else? Any quick questions? We did D4VD video earlier today. Darn comments weren't working for us on this end, so we couldn't see if you guys are saying anything. Hit that like button. Subscribe.
Share. Hit the notification bell. Beat that up so that you know whenever we go live.
And that notification bell doesn't work. We get notice all the time. It's not working. I wasn't notified. I think that's just a YouTube glitch that everyone experiences. How about you, Reichard? Did you get notice? Or did you just happen to find us?
Well, I think we're going to start doing daily lives in the evening and maybe lives or pre-recorded videos during the day, but most days of the week. So even if you're not getting notifications, just take a look at us and you'll probably find something. We
will be posting in the community if we're going live in the upcoming time. We'll give it an hour or 2, 3 notice, and then we'll usually post in the community if we're going live. So if you happen to be on, just stop by the community, check it out. I'll always post notice in there since that bell doesn't work so well. We need all you guys here, smashing the likey like and commenting and hunting trolls. Reichert is getting notifications. One of the lucky. One of the chosen. One of the chosen ones. Maybe it's because he's been around for a long time.
Yeah, I think he was one of our first subscribers, actually.
He's been around, definitely. Yeah, definitely post it all the time. I won't go live without telling you guys. You know, you guys are the ones that make this channel tick. Without viewers, we won't have any audience.
What's really crazy is that we probably in real life have crossed paths with Reichert while driving or sleeping in the same truck lots and stuff like that. That's what's really crazy.
I have to sit up close to the camera because that's where the comments are, and I can't see them without my reading glasses. That's why she's always in the background, and I appear to be in the foreground. It's not anything that I do to block her out because she's front and center. She is the star of this channel, guys.
I like having my hubby up there, though, because it's very comforting to me. Because sometimes I just get tired because I've had to put up such a fight the past couple years, and my struggles, beating cancer and all that. I just I need him for just to hold and know he's there and feel how alive I am and how lucky I am to be here and to have him by my side, and also as a physical reminder that nobody's going to be able to hurt me because he's there and he'll take care of me. And, I can let my guard down and let him take over whenever I'm getting overwhelmed.
JulezWolf, she would come off as such a strong person until she had that meeting with death.
Yeah. And most of my maiden name, so I'm not going by JulezWolf anymore. I'm
sad journey.
I'm like with my husband, so I'm not using my maiden name. So I'm just Jules, and this is Jack. And of course, Jules is my nickname. I have a
We
much
don't
more formal
usually
name.
get much time to talk on a personal note on these true crime channels. There's just not much personality on these. So we don't usually get to, creators don't usually get to meet the real creators, the audience. We don't get to find out who's really on the camera.
Well, we're real people, and we're really down to earth people.
And you'll never hear a robot voice on this channel.
We get very annoyed when we go watch a channel and then realize that it's a robot.
And the robot voices, guys, are just so realistic sounding.
At first,
until you watch a fishing channel and they go, and the best way to catch bass.
Yeah.
If you guys are any fishers,
and it's like,
fishermen
what?
out there.
That is a bass, and why have I been watching this channel thinking it's a real person talking about fishing, and then it turns out it's a robot that thinks that that fish is called a bass.
So, say no to AI channels. Say no.
Support real people.
Well, you can support us. We use AI. We make cartoons with it. But we include our real faces and our real voices.
Yeah. And our real mistakes. Our real trouble talking. And
you can check out some of our animated content if you go back a few months ago.
We'll probably do some more in the winter.
We did an animated video about old Bear. That's a pretty good one. Check that out. It's kind of fun.
I'm thinking of making some more fun out of him and do factual videos, giving the facts of the case.
Yeah.
But in a cartoon or, some other kind of playful way.
Well, when we do AI, you guys will know. It'll be so obvious when we do it.
Yeah, we won't try to make it look like it's real people or something like that. You'll be able to tell it's a cartoon and stuff. Maybe we'll even give people animalistic traits or whatever.
Thank you, everybody. Let us know what you want to hear next. We'll wait until in the morning and see what's trending tomorrow and see if D4VD got arrested yet. Barry's kind of on hold, kind of on idle for a little while. Nothing's too exciting going on with that guy.
Unless somebody gets pictures of him.
If you get a photograph, drop them in the email. Send them over. Yeah, AI is there. Top of Google results. You're going to see AI. What's another true crime story that we are considering? Anything current? We're going to do the Amish lady who put her kids in the pond. That was like 3 weeks ago, remember?
Oh, yeah, she drove a golf cart into a lake, and her 15, I think, year old daughter and her 18-year-old twin sons were in the golf cart with her.
What about the
They
husband?
all survived, but she was really weird talking to law enforcement on the scene, and she told them that her 4-year-old she had sacrificed him to God in the water, and she said
she played the crazy card, and
she said that her husband had been eaten by a fish and was inside the fish at the bottom of the lake.
It's in Wisconsin.
I don't remember what state, but I do have notes.
Do you know about
inside the trailer?
Danielle with the baby Kennedy case? Do you know that one? It's supposed to be going to trial tomorrow.
Oh, that'll be something to Google and learn about.
In 2022, the baby Kennedy newborn was thrown into the Mississippi River.
That's horrible.
Another crime against children. Wow. Not in Wisconsin. Well, I guess you would know, Journey, if that one happened there. You look sleepy.
Yeah, all of a sudden I'm pretty tired.
Guess we're gonna have a drinky of bubbly water. Tennessee, I think. Yes, I am interested in the Amish case too. We could go live on
We
that.
could revisit it and gather my notes. The notes are in the trailer, so we'll be able to do that in the morning.
Possibly.
We can gather it together and get it going, because that case just really piqued my interest.
No sleeping. No sleeping. No sleeping. Say good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Smash that like button on the way out, guys. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, moderators. You guys were doing great. Hunting all those trolls down again. Can't thank you enough. Good night.